You're watching NSUSpartans.com. I'm Matt Mihalik from the NSU Sports Information Office, bringing you your first report from the 2017 preseason football training camp. We're at the NSU practice field today, joined by head coach Latrell Scott. Coach, thanks for taking some time. A little bit muggy out here, but first week of training camp almost in the books. You got through all the meetings and physicals earlier, conditioning earlier in the week. Now 3 days into the actual practices. What have you seen from this group so far?
Well, a lot of positives, a lot of production. Obviously, the first 2 days we're in shorts, so everybody looks good in shorts in a sense. Today was the first time we had the ability to put on the shoulder pads and bang around a little bit, so the tempo changed a little bit, but we had to push the guys through it. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, it's 90 degrees and muggy like you said, so sometimes the guys need an extra push, but I'm pleased with the work that they've done through 3 days, but obviously there's a long way to go. A lot of things that we need to fix in all three phases to prepare for Virginia State.
How much progress can you actually expect to see from one day to the next this first week?
Well, the positive is that a lot of the guys were here this summer, so a lot of the first two installations on offense and defense were repeats, things that the guys were able to work on amongst themselves over the summer. Today we added some new stuff, and obviously you could see them slow down with the wheels turning a little bit, but I think just the work that the guys put in over the summer has got us a little bit ahead of where we normally are right now. But as you said, a lot of work to be done, and still a lot more to install.
Anything jump out at you? Any position groups or offense, defense, special teams? Anything really catch your eye these first 3 days of practice?
Very pleased with our freshman punter, Gaudi. Taylor's done a tremendous job. The first couple of days he's still in competition with Bo, but the ball jumps off his foot, so that should help our defense as far as being able to pin people deep. Some of the young guys that are making plays. Matt Hodges is the guy that stood out at linebacker, so he's in competition with the guys there at linebacker. Our quarterback's an ongoing battle. Trip Harrington, Tyree Givers Wilson, and Pootie Carter are all getting good amount of reps. Tripp's ahead of the bunch right now, but obviously that's going into the first scrimmage, so we'll see how it goes. In the secondary, some of the young players, Richard Russell, Jonathan Gregory, J.J. Givens, some guys that are adding some depth and competition to the secondary, so that's pretty unique. The wide receiver group is kind of a mature group, so not a ton of new faces there, but with Marcus Taylor and Chuma Wana and George Wahi, I've had 3 good days, so. A lot of continuity in that group, but across the board, still continue to work and still figure out who our starters will be.
Sounds like a lot of depth and competition. That seems to be the theme right now, and obviously certainly good to have that problem, if it is a problem, this early in training camp.
It's taken us a while to get there. Somebody asked me the other day, Coach, how do you choose between 3 quarterbacks? When I got here, we had to choose between one. So obviously we've got 3 guys that are capable of playing, but as you said, depth and competition is something that we hadn't been able to have here to this point. So you have guys that are battling for reps and doing what they can do to get themselves into practice. So it's a positive for us.
Last thing, Coach, before we let you go, about a week out from the first full scrimmage. Obviously you've gotten some 11-on-11 work in each day, but about a week out, full pads go on here in a couple days. What do you want to see in week 2 from this group before the first scrimmage?
You want to see who can tackle. You want to see who can be physical. You want to see who can break tackles. You want to see who can make plays with the ball in their hands. Obviously, the pads gets everybody excited, but we can do as much as we can do in full gear as we can do in shoulder pads. So these next couple days, as we get into pads, we'll be able to do a lot of things as well. But once we do get into scrimmage situations, we'll be able to play some situational football and see how guys can manage.
All right, Coach, well, thank you for joining us. We'll let you get back inside. Another day in the books, 3 days of training camp. We'll look forward to seeing what week 2 has in store for the Spartans.
Thanks, Matt.
Once again, that's head coach Latrell Scott. Nearing the end of the first week from football training camp here at the NSU practice field. Continuing along in our first training camp report for Spartan football, we're joined now by the second-year defensive end out of Virginia Beach, Kyron Speller. Kyron joined the team last year, a few games into the season after transferring from East Carolina. Played a little bit of special teams last year, some linebacker with the second unit. Now, the spring was kind of your coming out party, playing defensive end. You had a big spring performance that seems to have carried over here into the early part of fall. Kind of tell us a little bit about where you are now versus, say, this time last year.
Last year I was working for a scholarship. I was a walk-on when I came here, and basically I just noticed that if I wanted a scholarship, I had to work hard for it. So basically, I just got my mindset ready, and I was like, this is not for the weak and uncommitted. So I just kept working hard, kept doing my thing, and then it just came to me.
As far as the position switch, moving from more of an inside linebacker last year, this year playing defensive end pretty much exclusively, how do you like that switch? How do you feel like it suits you?
I I kind of like defensive end better. You know, you get to the action quicker. It's like you're right there in the action. I see why coach moved me. I mean, he needed more speed and more strength at the defensive line position and more rush off the edge. So I think he made a pretty good choice.
Anyone who watches practice for a little while, they see you're a very vocal guy, very spirited, trying to keep the guys in it and yelling encouragement and maybe yelling the occasional thing at the other side to get them motivated as well. Talk a little bit about your role, especially now that you've got a year under your belt. What do you kind of see your role as on this defense?
Basically, I see my role as just being a team leader. You know, just trying to motivate everybody. You know, keep everybody up. You don't never want to have a slow practice at all. Like if you have a slow practice, that means that Coach Scott, he feels it, and you know that then everybody just start dying down. You want to hype practice. You want everybody to be clicking. You want everybody to talk smack. That's what you want. That's how you get a good practice out of everybody.
Well, we put shoulder pads on here today. I know training camp can be a bit of a grind, but I have to imagine you like seeing the pads go on full gear a couple days away, scrimmage a week away. What are you kind of expecting out of this next week or so? What are you looking for from your unit on defense?
Basically, I'm just looking forward to just swarm the field, swarm the ball, and everybody just get to where they need to be. Always, we need at least 11 hits around the ball. It's always like that. And if you can't take them down, just keep them up. We'll come in, we'll just clean them up. That's how it is. But we looking to run around and everything like that. I feel good about it. I feel very good.
And if all goes according to plan, number 12 will be one of the guys that you'll see swarming around the ball, as he mentioned. Kyron, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of training camp, and we'll talk to you again here down the road.
All right, thank you.
Once again, that's Kyron Speller, sophomore defensive end from Virginia Beach, joining us. That'll do it for our first report from training camp. Much more to come on NSUSpartans.com. As we mentioned, the first scrimmage is about a week away, Saturday, August the 12th, 2 o'clock. It is open to the public, so make sure to keep it locked on NSUSpartans.com. Follow us on Twitter at NSU Spartans and at NSU_FB for more on Norfolk State football.